think the most important thing as I reflect on my own leadership is how it took a while for me to know who I was really well and the kinds of things that were important to me and my own values. Those things don't start to emerge until I think you are out of school and you get into different situations, different problems that have to be solved, and you sort of find out what you're made of and what's comfortable for you. And if in fact you find yourself able to be cool, to focus on the problem at hand, I think those are things that those talents start to emerge, or you become more conscious of them. And that's what I would ask or recommend to young professionals, is that they just learn who they are as they work through various jobs and settings in public relations, and they'll see whether or not these kinds of talents are there, and if they warm to them after they really actually want to illustrate them or exhibit them in their work. Well, what I try to do is actually put students in leadership positions. We have teamwork and group work in our upper level undergraduate classes and graduate classes. And sometimes it's really challenging to let groups have the time to develop their leadership or let leadership emerge. And you do have to stand back and let them fail as much as succeed. And to point it out, to make it safe to fail, or make it safe to be successful, and to really, again, stand back and see why you were successful and what did it take to be successful. Well, I think that I see a lot of it being inherited, that it is something that is part of your personality. That's why I think many people can be leaders, because they have personality traits that really assist in situations where problems have to be solved and groups have to move forward. The other part of me would say that it can be taught, that you can observe leadership in action, you can study what people have said about leadership, again, to kind of be more conscious of your own style and whether or not you have observed that in yourself in different situations. So in some ways you can put people in situations where they can be, again, more conscious and aware of the things that they can bring to the table. One of the areas of research that I conduct is on the influence of gender on the field of public relations. We've been concerned that because the field is now predominantly female, that we will lose these opportunities for leadership, that organizations will have a preference for males and they won't recognize the leadership talents that women have. So I think that I'm very sensitive to the idea that we don't have enough leaders. I think we have plenty of people with plenty of talent, but there may be some biases in the choice of leaders based on gender and or based on other kinds of demographic characteristics. So we have to really, again, be conscious that we're not falling into stereotypes and limiting the choices that really may be out there for us. I wanted to give an illustration of where there were leadership talents that emerged in a group. And it's one of my favorite examples because it goes to the idea that nothing is etched in stone. When Syracuse University lost 35 undergraduates because of the terrorist attack of the Pan Am 103 plane over Lockerbie, Syracuse University was inundated with media and also activist groups made up of parents and friends of the students that were lost. The activist groups in the beginning were very negative and created pressures for the university